Hello, AP Stat students. I am going to finish 11.1a notes by finishing up that example problem. I went to Stat, went to Edit, and I have my list. My L1 is my observed counts, and my L2 was my expected counts. And so instead of writing out all the values to get the chi-squared statistic, we are just wanting to do it on the calculator. So what we do is we make another list. So we go over to L3 and go over, highlight the very top, highlight L3. We want to put a formula. We want to put the chi-squared statistic formula in there. So we want to do observed minus expected squared divided by expected. So basically just put our formula in. So parentheses, we want L1, so list 1 is all your observed, list 2 is your expected. So to get L1, remember you want to use your second key and hit 1 for L1, 2 for L2, 3 for L3, so on. So L1 minus L2, close your parentheses, square that, and then divided by your expected, so that'd be L2. Once you hit enter, it'll calculate all of those values for you. And then remember, to get the chi-squared statistic, we're supposed to add all the numbers in that last column together, and that'll give you our chi-squared statistic. However, it's not really practical to add all those if we have, say, 20 of those or 10 of those. It just takes too long. So a simpler way to do it is go back to Stat and go to Calculate, and we are going to go to our one variable stats friend. I'm going to click on it, and we want to add all the numbers in L3. So luckily my L3 is there, so make sure you know what numbers you want to add together. So if it's on L1, change it to L3. So mine is good the way it is. And we want the sum of all of those values. So we want the second data value, which is the sum of x is 48.17. We don't want sum of x squared. That's x squared, not chi-squared. So we want the 48.17, and that's our chi-squared statistic. So that is going to be our lower bound. So our chi-squared statistic is 48.17, and that's what you would put after the ... equal. So your chi-squared statistic is 48.17. Now we want to go to our distribution menu. So go to second vars, and we want to scroll all the way down to number 8, where it's chi-squared CDF. Hit enter. Our lower bound, and I already put it in there, is 48.17. Upper bound, some large number, I put 1,000. The degrees of freedom, notice that there were 5 categories. You have your 20s age group, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, but you subtract 1 from it to get your degrees of freedom. So that's 4. Go to paste and hit enter. Okay. And then you have your chi-squared, or your p-value, my bad, is 8.6982445 times 10 to the negative 10th. That means that's basically 0. You have 9 zeros in front of the 8, and so that p-value is less than alpha, or 0.05, so we reject the null hypothesis. We do have convincing evidence that at least one of the proportions for people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s plus answering landline telephone surveys is not the same as the age distribution of U.S. residents. And those are your notes for 11.1a. Have a great day, AP Stat students.